So, good afternoon. Good afternoon, my dear aspirants. I will not call you anything else, I will call you all aspirants because you are aspiring to crack something that is very crucial in your life. And since there was a demand, because during that live class which I was engaging, so there was a few of you had demanded that to get some more questions on British literature, because you are going to get 40 questions from that. It's so it constitutes almost it's almost what it's 40% of the total marks, British literature. So we tried and to collect some extra questions, and I personally made some questions in the sense that you might get questions on the not exactly only Shakespeare. You should not concentrate only on Hamlet, King Lear, or Othello, or Macbeth. You have to, or the Merchant Venice. You have to be aware of the clowns, the court jesters, the fools, which are an integral part of all Shakespearean play, whether it's a drama, whether it's a tragedy, whether it's a comedy, or the role of the fools, the court jesters is very, very important. Like Feste, Malvolio, Touchstone in As You Like It, Feste in A Twelfth Night, then Dogberry and Verges in Much Ado About Nothing, then you have the Gravediggers in Hamlet. So the fools play a very good Bottom in Nick Bottom in Midsummer's Night's Dream. So you ought to know about them also. You have to focus your attention on them, because you do not know the examiner jo question setter question koruchi. What the question setter has in his mind, you do not know. The question setter is given a syllabus, and the question setter might ask you questions on that. So you have to be well prepared. So you have to be prepared 360 degree. So all the characters, everything, every aspect, Shakespeare mane you have to concentrate on every aspect of Shakespeare. केही कोनाते डिटेल्स जानिया पे किंतु जाओ केते गुडे ना तुमको जानिया को हबो. And some background. So listen one thing, you are given a training of 5 years in college, 3 years in the undergraduate and 2 years in the postgraduate. So you khali question answer पढ़िले केबे पाठ हुएनी. No, you have to be. So before we start, let me ask you all again, join our Telegram channel. You get all the PDF, all the updates, when the next class is going to be, everything will be there. And always there should be likes and shares. And we have given 10 those test series, Parishram test series. So you really work hard and crack those 1000 questions. So once you crack those 1000 questions, तुम देखियो examination hall को गला बड़को. So you have got a confidence रे तमे जिबो, because I have been a teacher for 38 years. I worked as a teacher for 38 years. 17 years in Ravenshaw College, 10 years in RD Women's College, Ramadevi Women's College. So just imagine number of students mu देखिछि. पिला जेतले परीक्षा टाइम रे एंट्री करंती तांका मुहरु तांका प्रथम एंट्री करंती हॉल को तांका मुहरु जानि देहिबे को पिला प्रिपेयर्ड अछि को पिला प्रिपेयर्ड नै. So this as a very, very senior teacher, I would like to tell you all these things. Okay. Now, as per your demand, so we have worked out agar kichhi typographical error achi, which I am going to sort it out during the course of our discussion of the questions. Now let's start. In which play of Shakespeare do we find the characters Dogberry and Verges? In which play of Shakespeare do we find the characters Dogberry and Verges? A. Twelfth Night, B. King Lear, C. This is Much Ado About Nothing, D. The Merchant of Venice. Dogberry and Verges, they are very, very famous Shakespearean fools. You find it in option C, Much Ado About Nothing. Dogberry and Verges. Next question. Which among the following plays of Shakespeare is not set in ancient Rome? Julius Caesar, Coriolanus, Antony and Cleopatra, D. Measure for Measure. Which among the following plays of Shakespeare, जोटा कि कहते Roman plays of Shakespeare, that means the play where the setting is Rome, ancient Rome. Okay. A. Julius Caesar, B. Coriolanus, C. Antony and Cleopatra, D. Measure for Measure. The correct option is option D, Measure for Measure. Measure for Measure is not set in Rome. Otherwise, Julius Caesar, Coriolanus, Antony and Cleopatra, they are all Roman plays set in ancient Rome. Julius Caesar so जानता Julius Caesar नारो आसी Augustus Caesar नारो August month of August, Julius Caesar नारो month of July. And Julius Caesar टिके भलरे पढ़िथिबो because it's a historical play. In the sense not exactly historical, Roman plays is jibo, but it is history. Julius Caesar was तारा friend थला Brutus. So तारा अच्छी et tu Brute, the line, famous line सब लोग परीक्षा में पढ़े. Et tu Brute, that means you Brutus also. So Julius Caesar क्या पढ़ा था वो? Caesar's wife California, Cassius, and Brutus Caesar's friend. Who said the following line? He breathed upon dead bodies and brought them into life. A. Samuel Johnson, B. Ralph W. Emerson, C. John Dryden, D. F. R. Lewis. Who said the following line? He breathed life into the dead bodies is what? He means here he refers to Shakespeare. He refers to Shakespeare. It is option B, Ralph W. Emerson said about Shakespeare, that what a genius he was. Even he can breathe life into your dead body. That was the power of his imagination, that was the power of his creation, his language of Shakespeare. It is Ralph Emerson, the famous American transcendentalist. Just a minute. Let me see. Gutte switch both on. Okay. Once again, let me do it. There was some slight glitch. When we become, man becomes a slave of technology. Never become a slave of anything, or not do you try to master something, be a master of something. Sabubare gote moderate middle path jota ki Lord Gautama Buddha said, always follow the middle path. Then only moderation rahile life will be better. The extreme ku padele life will be dangerous. We are totally dependent on the camera, on the mic. कोजे टिके ग्लिच हो गला तो प्रॉब्लम टिके हे जाए. ओके, सो सॉरी फॉर द डिस्ट्रप्शन. नाउ नेम द प्ले एंड कैरेक्टर ऑफ शेक्सपियर हु अटर्ड दीज लाइन्स. हैव मोर देन दाउ सोएस्ट, स्पीक लेस देन दाउ नोएस्ट, लेंड लेस देन दाउ ओएस्ट. दैट मीन्स व्हाट? हैव मोर देन दाउ सो, द अमाउंट ऑफ मनी और एनीथिंग व्हिच यू शो ऑफ, knowledge or anything, you should have what you are showing, you should have more of it. More than what you show, then less than, speak less than you know. That means what you know, that टिके कम कहिबो, बेसी कहिबो नै. So and lend less than thou owe. जति की want lend करो less. That means always be on the conservative side. Conservative side माने जाने तुमको कहिबो जे एटा को यूज करंती हमरो स्टॉक मार्केट रे. माने तुमको जड़े आसी कह पॉलिसी नियंतु आपण 20% रिटर्न पाइबे किंतु कंजर्वेटिव साइड रे होची न नेले पूरा पूरी एकदम बट स्टैंडर्ड रेट को नियो ताटो अधिका हे पर किंतु मिनिमम टा रखो दैट इज कॉल्ड कंजर्वेटिव साइड सो आपण को मिलिबो 8% दैट इज द कंजर्वेटिव साइड एनहांस ओवर एस्टिमेशन होची 20% जोटा कि केबे आसीबो नै anyway these are the lines who spoke A. Horatio in Hamlet, B. Dogberry in Much Ado About Nothing, C. Fool in King Lear, D. Touchstone in As You Like It. It is the fool in King Lear who utters these lines. Have more than thou sowest, speak less than thou knowest, lend less than thou owest. Whatever you owe, money you owe to somebody, lend less than that. Man is but an ash if he go about to expound this dream. Name the Shakespearean character and play uttering these lines. Man is but an ash if he go about to expound this dream. आर प्रथम क्लू है ड्रीम अच्छी माने मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम सो मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम रे होची किए द मेकानिकल्स मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम टा ऑनर्स थिला बोधे आई रिमेंबर एबे कौन अच्छे ऑनर्स में कहि परिबिनी मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम जोटी कि बॉटम निक बॉटम सो निक बॉटम है मिडसमर नाइट्स ड्रीम फूल इन किंग लियर सी लॉन्सलाइट गोबो इन द मर्चेंट ऑफ वेनिस डी नन ऑफ द अबव. It is option A who Nick Bottom says in A Midsummer's Night's Dream. They all are there in the forest. Bottom, therefore, Pyramid and Thisbe, they are rehearsing that play. Nick Bottom, Helena, Demetrius, Hermia, Lysander, समस्त एकाठी हेचंती and Puck plays the trick of the squeezing the love juice and creates a misunderstanding. So, this is on Midsummer's Night's Dream. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Who spoke these lines? एगुड़ा कुछ purely on Shakespearean fool मानकर important quotations. A. Touchstone, B. Verges, C. Malvolio, D. Falstaff. It is Touchstone who says in As You Like It. Touchstone says this in the play As You Like It. Next, the Whigs stood. What are the Whigs and the Tories? 18th century पढ़ी how gradually satire prose ta kemte develop kala because political party he gala. Oliver Cromwell when he came to power, why history is important, when Oliver Cromwell came to power, then the kings they knew that our times now, our days are limited. Jodi if our days are now numbered ame kon kare khaba. So there started the concept of constitutional monarchy. Constitutional monarchy माने monarch of power कमी गला. आमर जेंती प्रेसिडेंट रो पावर बर्तन क्वीन रो पावर से बर्तन किंग चार्ल्स अच्छी चार्ल्स रो पावर सेमती जस्ट रबर स्टैम्प सेठू आरंभ हो गला. ऑलिवर क्रॉमवेल जते बड़ा आरंभ करे beheaded Charles first. So gradually politicized हो गला 17th century end बेलकू and 18th century बेलकू already Whig of Tory party हो गलानी. Whigs stood for Whigs were liberals, Tories माने होचंती conservative. बर्तन इवन ऋषि सुनक is what? Is the prime minister who belongs to the Tory party, the Tories, conservative party. Whig टा इलेक्ट्रल लिबरल पार्टी है कि बर्तन लेबर पार्टी है जाइए. इंग्लैंड रे प्राय तीनोटी पार्टी दीटी मेजर पार्टी गोटेला लेबर पार्टी आ गोटेला कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी. कंजर्वेटिव को सन टोरीज भी कहती मान चर्चिल एवं सब थे कंजर्वेटिव. टोरी पार्टी लेबर पार्टी गुड़ा होचंती कॉमन मैन डेमोक्रेसी पुअर लोकंकर पार्टी लेबर पार्टी. सो द Whigs stood for A. personal freedom, B. power for the church, C. divine right, D. none of the above. Now let me see the answer. A question I want to see your answer. I want to see your response. Listen, Widyakar, we are in the app also, we are giving so many things. Those who want to pay for it and get it and get the materials, they are welcome, but download the app. I know this is going to benefit you, because we have all tried very hard to develop those material, develop questions, ko type of question asibar chances achi. Looking into all the aspects, we have tried hard. Anyway, answer this question. The Whigs stood for personal freedom, power for the church, divine right, and none of the above. It is option A, personal freedom, because they championed the cause of freedom, democracy, voice of the people. The Tories stood for liberal ideas, B, bureaucracy, C, royal divine right, D, freedom. Tories माने conservative. अरे वीग और टोरी पार्टी है परे जस्ट इमेजिन कर आगुरी कौन होता एनी राइटर तार पेट्रोन को द राइटर वाज डिपेंडिंग फॉर पेट्रोनेज वाज डिपेंडिंग ऑन द किंग जदि कोर्ट को किंग को डिपेंड कर से अगेंस्ट के लिखिबो ताटू पैसा पाइला परे केबे करबोनी तापर कोन हला हमर जे स्पॉन्सरशिप जोटा हमर जे स्पॉन्सरशिपटा एने कौन विभिन्न कंपनी स्पॉन्सर करछन सेते किंग गोटे स्पॉन्सर करथला सो इज पॉसिबली यू कैन नॉट गो अगेंस्ट द किंग यू सिंपली कैन नॉट गो अगेंस्ट द किंग किंतु जेते पॉलिटिकल पार्टी डिवाइडेड हे गला ए पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कोन कले ना ताकर मैगजीन्स न्यूज़पेपर बाहर कले सो दे वांटेड ये ता अगेंस्ट हमर जेमते न्यूज़ चैनल गोटा हला बीजेपी रो न्यूज़ चैनल गोटे कांग्रेस रो न्यूज़ चैनल समस्त निजे निजे न्यूज़ चैनल रखछंती सो थ्रू द न्यूज़ चैनल you go on shouting, one news channel shouts against the other news channel, the other news channel people they anchor shouts against the some other news channel. तो सेतेबेले न्यूज़ चैनल नथला सेतेबेले तांकर थिला मैगजीन्स और न्यूज़पेपर सो सेमान कोन करे जो वीक रो सिंपथाइजर सेमाने टू तांको कहितले राइटर्स मनकु तुमको पैसा दिया जिवो यू राइट अगेंस्ट द टोरी पीपल टोरी लोक आनिथिबे तांकर जो टोरी सिंपथाइजर जे तमे वीक लोक मानक अगेंस्ट वीक पार्टी अगेंस्ट लेखो सो दीज पीपल नाउ गॉट मनी they got sponsors so say to आरंभ हे गला prose writing satire because जणे criticize करछि ना so satire is the best way anyway the Tories stood for A, liberal ideas, B, bureaucracy, C, royal divine right, D, freedom. It is option C, royal divine right. Okay, which among the following is not a major characteristic of the age of Pope? A, moderation, B, common sense, C, tolerance, D, emotion. Major characteristics कारण एज ऑफ ड्राइडेन पर एज ऑफ पोप आसला एमान हेले एनलाइटनमेंट माइंड यू ता परे आसला कोटा रोमांटिक पीरियड सो कॉमन सेंस यूज करो which among the following is not a major characteristics of the age of pope सुनो 11 days आ परीक्षा रहला it's emotion option D तांकर common sense थिला moderation थिला they had tolerance थिला but they did not have emotion and Wordsworth in his preface to the lyrical ballads in 1798 he first spoke about imagination about emotion passion where here they emphasized the age of Pope and Dryden they emphasized more on correctness. They were the classicists. So तांका model थिला classical writers, the Greek writers and the Roman writers. So option D is the right answer. Some are born great, some achieve greatness and some have greatness thrown upon them. Name the play and the character who uttered these words. It's a famous line. Actually, why some are born great, why some achieve greatness and why some have greatness thrown upon them. It is such a wonderful, this is why the answer is A, Feste from 12th night, D. Polonius in Hamlet, C. Falstaff in Henry IV, D. None of the above. It is Feste in 12th night. It is such a wonderful line. तुम निजे भाबो. Some are born great. जन्मरु से माने genius. Some acquire greatness. काम कले exposure हला hard work they acquire greatness. आउ गोटे कैटेगरी अछंती जो माने किछि नाही तांकर बट तांको ऊपर ग्रेटनेस पक्का गला माने गोटे निहाती गुड फॉर नथिंग धतला रे थिबो से देखला बेलू से जेहेतु गोटे बड़ मिनिस्टर पुओ तो सी से मिनिस्टरटे हो अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज इट एटी तापे ग्रेटनेस गोटे पोजीशन ता ऊपर जस्ट ताको गोटे प्लेट रे दिया गला. So Feste in 12th night says that why some are empty kahi ke hela, why some are born great, why somebody acquire greatness and why some greatness is thrown upon somebody जोड़े से डिजर्व करेनी. आम कंट्री तो ये करप्शन एते जोर होइछि जे आमे बहुत जगह देखिछे जे जो बहुत गोटे जगह पिला डिजर्व करे जो पिला डिजर्व करे से पाए से आसे बिकॉज ताको ग्रेटनेस ता ऊपर थुआ होइछि तार निश्चय किछि कनेक्शन अछि जोति पे कि he or she is at an advantage, privileged class में जाए. Anyway, what is the name of Shakespeare's wife? A. Anne Hathaway, B. Elizabeth I, C. Catherine of Aragon, D. Mary Queen of Scots. What is the name of Shakespeare's wife? It's a very easy thing. It is option A, Anne Hathaway. In what city is the Globe Theatre located? Globe Theatre ko jagah located? So Globe Theatre is located in London. Globe Theatre जिल कले से माने लंडन रो आउटस्कर्ट्स रे कले साको. आउटस्कर्ट्स माने सबर्ब. आमर जेंति कटक रो सबर्ब होची कोटा चौद्वार आ जगतपुर सेमती लंडन रो सबर्ब्स एंड ग्लोब थिएटर रे कले बिकॉज सिटी भीतर जगह पे पाइबा बहुत मुश्किल वेरी डिफिकल्ट. मोर ओवर दे वर नॉट गिवन परमिशन. You have to pay taxes. So सेमाने ग्लोब थिएटर को कले एंड वन जस्ट इमेजिन करो सेठी लाइट नथिला गोटे प्राइवेट थिएटर थाए. प्राइवेट थिएटर हला जोटी के एनक्लोज थिबो गोटे सीलिंग थिबो साइड रे वॉल थिबो तो सेठी तमर लाइट्स देकी समाने राति रे प्ले कर परबे. तो से प्राइवेट थिएटर टा को केवल प्रिविलेज राजा रानी जेतेबेले चाहिबे देखिया पे और तांका चामचा माने जेतेबेले चाहिबे देखिया पे से मानकु से मान दियंती. किन नॉर्मल वे रे तांकर प्ले गुडा को ऊपर ओपन स्काई केवल खरा थिला बेले दिन बेला करिवे बिकॉज लाइट्स सुविधा नथिला. द प्रोविजन ऑफ लाइट वाज नॉट देयर. सो माने लाइक तांकर सेल्फ भलिया करथिबे बेले बेले निया लागि जाई छि केथरा पोडी जाई छि सब. सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स हैपेंड. सो ग्लोब थिएटर वाज सिचुएटेड एट द आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ लंडन. माने जेमति बर्तमान तुम देखो फॉर एग्जांपल हमर जो माने सब इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज करछन्ती और मेडिकल कॉलेज करछन्ती. डू यू थिंक से माने सिटी भीतर करछन्ती से माने काहे कि यू नीड ए ह्यूज स्पेस. तुम एते बड़ जगह कोठी मिलिबो केवल आउटस्कर्ट्स रे ही मिलिबो जोडी चाष जमी अछि से अछि ताकू तुम डेवलप करी तुम सेठी यू गेट 2-3 acres ऑफ लैंड देन ओनली यू कैन हैव एन इंस्टीट्यूशन. Which play is known as the Scottish play due to a superstition about its name? A. Macbeth, B. Hamlet, C. King Lear, D. Othello. Scottish play? It is Macbeth. What is the name of Shakespeare's longest play? Shakespeare को केतरा जिनस मन रखिबो. Option A is King Lear, B. Hamlet, C. Romeo and Juliet, D. Antony and Cleopatra. It is B. Hamlet is the longest play of Shakespeare. सबुबले एटा मन रखता लो. Which is the longest play of Shakespeare? It is Hamlet, which is a tragedy. Next, What is the title of Shakespeare's final play, last play of Shakespeare? What is the title of the last play of Shakespeare? A. The Tempest, B. Twelfth Night, C. The Winter's Tale, D. All is Well that Ends Well. शेक्सपियर का लास्ट टाइम रोमांस सेक्शन जोटा है, विंटर्स टेल, सिम्बलाइन, पेरिकल्स, it is the Tempest. Ferdinand, Miranda, Ariel, it is the Tempest, where Shakespeare has become, is growing old. Tapare he went back London chadikri, he went to his own place, he went to Avon. Tapare Shakespeare, then I did not write, after 1611 did not write anything. So he died in 1616 and his first folio his friends got it, published it in 1623. तो शेक्सपियर का मैटर है केतेटा डेट्स मन रखिथिबो. He died in 1616, first folio बाहला 1623, एंड केतेटा मन रखिबो. Okay, so the last the title of the Shakespeare's final play was The Tempest. Which play is often considered the greatest love story of all time? Which play of Shakespeare is considered to be the greatest love story of all time? केते फिल्म हेछि तापर आ जत्ते फिल्म हेछि सब जगह सुपर हिट हेछि. I will not tell this answer, you answer. A question देखो, very good, Romeo and Juliet. ताकू बेस करके केते आमर जे रासलीला कोन हिना तलटे दीपिका पादुकोण और रणबीर सिंह, it's based on Romeo and Juliet, about two families, the feud between two families. It is Romeo and Juliet, option C. Dryden said in one of his critical treatises, our numbers means versifications, poems, poetry, where in their nonage, nonage means it was not insignificant or not existent, till these two appeared. Whom does Dryden refer to in this observation? That means during the age of Dryden there was hardly any poets and it was it's a kind of a drought, morudi padi jaithala till these two appeared. So who are these two? A. Samuel Butler and Abraham Cowley, B. Milton and Donne, C. Herrick and Taylor, D. Waller and Denham. Go. This question, Waller and Denham. Pilamane, quite, if you are fine, if you don't have any problem, so dhad like karo and share, like and share बहुत दरकार, because genuinely, I mean we are not begging, it is genuine. If you are happy and satisfied and all, there should be some likes and there should be shares, because share hele kon hobo na, it will motivate us, it will motivate all of us, it will motivate you, it will benefit others also. सुनो गोटे अच्छी प्राय जॉन स्टुअर्ट मिल करो जे greater good to a greater number of people, that should be the motto. A greater number of people should be benefited also. Okay, now it is option D, Edmund Waller and Sir John Denham. Ma'am, in some places it was written Henry VIII. Kota को question टा कहले play. Let me see the previous question. Which play is often considered the greatest love story of all time? All time. Is this the question? Anusha, which one you are saying? That Henry VIII, in some places it was written Henry VIII. This question, the greatest love story, Anusha? This is option C. Okay. Let me, okay, before that question, let me tell you something about this. जी दोटी पढ़ी हेनरी VIII, हेनरी VIII को एबे लव स्टोरी रे थिला तमे जदि टिके हिस्ट्री ऑफ लिटरेचर भलरे पढ़ी थांत हेनरी VIII को केबे कहि न थांत। हेनरी VIII गोटे बदमाश थिला। आई बिलीव टिके मोर हेनरी VIII से तार दीटा वाइफ को मार देथिला, एनी बोलेन जे एलिजाबेथ वन रो माँ एंड आई थिंक कैथरीन ऑफ एरागन तार बड़ भाई ता भाई मरीगला परे ही मैरिड हिज ब्रदर्स वाइफ तापर ही वाज डेस्परेट टू गेट अ मेल चाइल्ड एमान सब मेल चाइल्ड दे पारलेनी बोली हेनरी VIII से मन को सब मारी बिहेड कर देला एंड ता कौन से कहला ता ओरिजिनल रीजन थिला जे दे डिड नॉट गिव हिम अ मेल चाइल्ड से से बिहेड कला मारदेला पूरा बेक काटिदेला किंतु लोक को कौन कहला जे से माने सब अनफेथफुल थिले तांकर सब एक्स्ट्रा अफेयर थिला अन्य माने संगे दैट इज व्हाई आई किल्ड देम सो ही वांटेड द चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड पूरा टू बी ऑल इन ऑल तो सी कहीं की पोप अगेंस्ट गला ही वेंट अगेंस्ट द पोप कहीं से पोप को से पोप कंट्रोल करतला ना सो पोप को कहला मु डिवोर्स करी मो वाइफ को एंड द पोप डिड नॉट अग्री जेमती पोप अग्री कलानी तो सी ता निज पर्सनल बेनिफिट पे ही से कहला ना ना वी विल गेट अवे फ्रॉम द चर्च ऑफ फ्रॉम द रोमन फ्रॉम द पैपल अथॉरिटी एंड वी विल एस्टैब्लिश द चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड विल बी पावरफुल द चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड शुड बी ऑल पावरफुल how can co jagger so if this is the case so Henry VIII ta kemti longest should be one of the most awesome love story kemti he paribo कहला जेतल से गोटे विलेन टे लव स्टोरी आसला कोठो तो जी पढ़े जी जी जो आंसर टा अच्छे दैट आंसर इज एब्सोल्युटली 10,000% wrong understand next question Dryden said so Waller and Edmund Waller they were poets Edmund Waller and Sir John Denham between which sets of years did Dryden live between which sets of year Dryden lived A 1625 to 1700 B 1628 to 1700 C 1635 to 1700 D 1631 to 1700 so it was option D it is 1631 to 1700 that means Dryden lived for 69 years अच्छा बोले हेनरी VIII तो माने मु एते हिस्ट्री कोन मु कोन एनसाइक्लोपीडिया ना हिस्ट्री बही आई थिंक इट इज हेनरी VIII पिले तमर से टिके नेट देखी ने गूगल सर्च कर देखला हेनरी VIII आई थिंक ही मैरिड 6 तांको भितरु एलिजाबेथ वन बापा माँ हूँ एनी बोलेन से बुनता सेटा हूँ कोटे कोटे मिस्ट्रेस तार थिला से मिस्ट्रेस शी वाज द सिस्टर ऑफ one of Henry VIII's mistress network problem होची पुणे okay Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy is a long poetical work B a play in 5 acts C a critical treatise on dramatic arts developed through dialogues D a long essay on the art and craft of English dramatists go pile Dryden's essay on dramatic poesy is a long poetical work B a play in 5 acts C. A critical treatise on dramatic art developed through dialogues. D. A long essay on the art and craft of English dramatists. It is option C. It is a critical treatise, it is a criticism book on dramatic art developed through dialogues. जो art ta how to develop through dialogues. So, in dramatic poesy what happens? Dryden uses 4 interlocutors. I will come to it next in the next question. Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy develops through dialogues amongst 4 interlocutors. One of the following is not one of those interlocutors. Identify him. So, in the Dryden's dramatic poesy, 4 interlocutors means 4 people. They represent 4 different ideologies. And तांका भितर रहला किए गोटा जन है आई थिंक रॉबर्ट हावर्ड जॉन्स ड्राइडन ब्रदर इन लॉ से Robert Howard, then Charles Sedley, and another one is Charles Sackville. Out nije Dryden. Understand? Eugenius, Treatise, Neander, Leslie. So, the Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy develops through dialogues amongst 4 interlocutors. One of the following is not one of those interlocutors. जो 4 interlocutor, one of them is not there. Eugenius is one, Treatise is one, Neander nije Dryden हुची Neander, तापरे Leslie. एटा हुची Leslie DS. It is not Leslie. एटा हुची option D is the right answer. Otherwise, in 4 interlocutor भितर हुचंती Eugenius, Treatise, Neander, Leslie DS. The real name is Leslie DS, not Leslie. So, in this question, this is the odd. This is the wrong answer. This is not doesn't include here, so it is the right option. One of the following interlocutors in Dryden's essay of dramatic poesy represents Dryden himself. So, it is aguru kahideli Neander, option D. A. Eugenius, B. Treatise, A. Leslie. It is option D, Neander. Dryden nije huchi Neander. So, all these 4 interlocutors, they are, so they represent different ideology. So, different ideology bhitar jo discussion hechi, through their discussion and dialogue, the entire essay is about that. Okay. Which play is not created and written by Dryden? A. All for Love, B. Conquest of Grenada, C. Love's Never Lost, D. Tyrannic Love. It's a very easy question. Tell me. Dryden was famous for his Absalom and Achitophel, Macflecknoe, but and also great heroic plays he wrote. All for Love is a heroic play which is based on Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. Option D, nah. It is option C, Love's Labour Lost, William Shakespeare has written. It is not written by Dryden. So, till now we have come up to Dryden. We have come up to Dryden. So, if you are satisfied how the way the session is going, so give a thumbs up. के मझे मझे एगुड़ा सब एटीपी पर कहली एनर्जी adenosine triphosphate source of energy. Unless you give those thumbs up, energetic केमती लागिवो केमती inspired की पढ़िया की इच्छा हो. Okay, so give your thumbs up. William Congreve, essay of dramatic पूरा कहूँ पे आमर कि टिके तरतर होती तो डेभलप माने टिपोग्राफिकल एरर बहुत अच्छी आपको छाड़ा. Essay of dramatic poesy is the creation of A. Congreve, B. Alexander Pope, C. William Shakespeare, D. Dryden. It is dramatic poesy written by option D, Dryden. Next question, who speaks this line in The Way of the World? Now let us come from Dryden, we will come to Restoration comedy. So, Restoration comedy is known as comedy of manners. ताकू restoration काहे की कहा गला? Because when Oliver Cromwell, he was a Puritan who, when he came to power, for 18 years he shut down in all the from 1642 to 1660 all the theatres were shut down, because Oliver Cromwell कहीं shut down कले theatres को से कहले जे theatre से जो जिनस गुड़ा को देखा होची that is spoiling the society, that is spoiling the moral conduct of the society. तो सेथिपे theatre टा is giving a negative खाली entertainment दउची ता संगे संग it is doing a lot of damage, it is destroying the moral fabric of the society. सेथिपे Oliver Cromwell shut down all the theatres. Now in 1660 Charles first was beheaded, तापरे Charles II was restored to the throne. So Charles came from France. So in 1660 when Charles was restored to the throne, से immediately theatre खोल देगला. लोक माने जो 18 वर्ष काल पूरा सप्रेस्ड होकी चुपचाप ही बसतिले, सडनली जेंती गाई गोठ गाई माने फटकी खोली दिया जाए, सेमिति लोकंकर माने पैशन लव सब जिनस जुआडे वेंट हे वायर. अपर एरिस्टोक्रेटिक सोसाइटी से माने बेसी खराब हेले, माने सेतला किछि रहिला नै. Marriage as a माने sanctity of marriage disappeared. Honesty, fidelity, faithfulness कार किछि माने रहिला नै. जे जहा को चाहेला ता संगे चलला. Affair समस्त बढ़िला. Language was very obscene because Charles came from that kind of a atmosphere, ambience, and Charles also was like that. So he encouraged this. The restoration ताको कहती comedy of manners. Manners of the upper society, upper class society. गरीब लोगों को नथला, पर lower middle class को नुहे. इटा affect कला बेसी upper class society. ये जो जिनसो वड़ा का having 10-15 mistress, having affair with 10-15 a married man having, or a married woman having affair with a man, or married man having numerous affairs with women, एगुड़ा का चालू रहिला. It was became the order of the day during the Restoration period. So these writers like William Congreve, George Farquhar, Etheridge, Wycherley, they tried to satirize, expose the follies of the society to bring about some kind of a change. Okay? So who speaks this line, The Way of the World? Way of the World is a famous work of William Congreve. A wit should no more be sincere than a woman constant. Who said this? A. Lady Wishfort, B. Millamant, C. Mirabell, D. Whitwood. It is option D. Whitwood said this. In The Way of the World, it was there in the syllabus. You must be knowing the story. I don't have to discuss about that. So Mirabell is in love with Millamant, and he wants to, and Millamant also. It is a reciprocal love between Millamant and Mirabell. So wit mane intelligent words, intelligent quotes. That is called wit. So it is one of the features of Restoration comedy. So Whitwood said all this. So Whitwood was a cousin of Millamant. So he said that a wit should no more be sincere than a woman constant, because you don't find a woman constant woman in the Restoration period. Next, the plays of William Congreve are known as A. Comedy of Humours, Comedy of Errors, C. Farce, Comedy of Manners. Tell me. The plays of Congreve, Wycherley, Farquhar are known as what? It is option C, Comedy of Manners. Comedy of Humour hochi Ben Jonson kar 16th century. So Comedy of Manners. Comedy of Errors hochi play of Shakespeare. Who speaks this line in The Way of the World? Who speaks this line in The Way of the World? Friendship without freedom is as dull as love without enjoyment. When there is no freedom in friendship, he compares that with love without any enjoyment. A. Lady Wishfort, B. Millamant, C. Whitwood, D. Mirabell. Who said this? It is option C, Whitwood. Wit para the nata, because Whitwood. So, he was a witty person who pretended to be extremely witty when making witty statement. In Congreve, The Way of the World, Millamant is loved by A. Mr. Fainall, B. Mirabell, C. Whitwood, D. Petulant. It is a very easy one because Way of the World tamar syllabus re thila and all of you must be knowing it is B. Mirabell. The display of wit forms an important part of which dramas? A. Restoration comedy, B. William Shakespeare's tragedy, C. William Shakespearean comedy, D. Jacobean drama. The display of wit माने जोर जबरदस्ती एभला गोटे witty statement दबा, it was a characteristic typical feature of which kind of drama? No, आर तो होचे रिवेंज प्ले जैकोबियन ड्रामा गुड़ाक मोस्टली इट इज रेस्टोरेशन कॉमेडी, इट इज रेस्टोरेशन कॉमेडी. Which statements is correct regarding the way of the world? A. Whitwell disguised himself as Sir Rowland, Mirabell disguised himself as Sir Rowland, C. Whitwood disguised himself as Sir Rowland, D. Mr. Fainall disguised himself as Sir Rowland. तो स्टोरी तो तुम सब जानी थो आपको. वेटवॉल थिला आर मिराबेल रो सर्वेंट and Sir Rowland was the imaginary uncle of Mirabell. It is option A. Whitwell disguised himself as Rowland, Sir Rowland. Which book is a creation of William Congreve? Which book is a creation of William Congreve? That means, which of the following? A. A Midsummer Night's Dream, B. She Would If She Could, D. See the Old Bachelor, D. The Country Wife. It is C. The Old Bachelor. So, I got to say, मन रखियो Congreve, restoration dramatist मान खाली work गुड़ा का मन रखता. मन रखा सो not that जे overnight रात्रे गोटे थरा पढ़ी की मन रखियो. ताको बहु वर्ष भीतर पढ़ी 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 मन रही जाए. Which of these is not a creation of William Congreve? A. The Double Dealer, B. Love for Love, C. The Constant Couple, D. The Way of the World. This chapter which of the book play is not written by William Congreve? Is not written. देखो Double Dealer Congreve has written, Love for Love Congreve has written, The Way of the World is also written by Congreve. This is The Constant Couple, option C is the right answer. The Constant Couple is written by George Farquhar. So, this is not written by Congreve. Now, the next section is we will come to Alexander Pope. According to Pope, the most significant characteristic feature of his poetry is A. Swiftness, B. Correctness, C. Intellectualism, D. Didacticism. Okay. D. Didacticism. Pope significant characteristics of his feature. It is B. Correctness. He was always for correctness. Pope was basically a dash, a poet, a critic, a prose writer, a satirist. undoubtedly a poet, and he had written also many prose pieces, but basically what is he? He was known as a D, option D, a satirist. आमर जो कहते माने पोप का सटायर वाज सो विरुलेंट. पोप्स अटैक, पोप वाज कहीं केते माने ही वाज वेरी इल टेम्पर्ड. कहीं थिले बिकॉज पोप को छोट बड़े गोटे देह खराब ला, ज्वर है, तो पोप को ग्रोथटा स्टंटेड हो गला, से बढ़ी पारे, हाइट हो पारे, तो से फिजिकली ही वाज डिसफिगर्ड. तो नेचुरली ही हैड ट्रेमेंडस इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स. तेणु से सब भाव जो मुझे चलला ना मत किए सब हसुँच. से पोप वाज एक्सट्रीम, अटैक्टा हूँ एक्सट्रीमली विरुलेंट, कॉस्टिक अटैक. से क्या छाड़बनी. पोप जदि लिखिले क्या एगेन्स्ट रे, से लोकटा चल माने 2 वर्ष 3 वर्ष सोई पारिबनी. द लैंग्वेज ऑफ पोप वाज सो पियर्सिंग. ओके, नेक्स्ट. Pope has addressed the essay on man to which of the following? A. Dryden, B. Lord Bolingbroke, C. Lord Harvey, D. Lady Mary. Whom did Pope address this? It is Lord Bolingbroke. Pope को बहुत कम सांग थे. In one of the poem, Pope says, beauty divorced from good sense is worth nothing. In which poem does he make this observation? A. The Essay on Man, B. Dunciad, C. Epistle to Arbuthnot, D. The Rape of the Lock. Now tell me this answer. Let me see this answer. I will not say. Answer this question. अच्छा, the rape of the, some of you are writing Uttam Suna, Prabhati Behera. It is option D, the rape of the lock. अच्छा, rape of the lock रे lines गुड़ाक अच्छी. In one of the poem, Pope says, beauty divorced from good sense is worth nothing. I'll tell you one thing. Exact lines अच्छी rape of the lock रे. Because Pope was using heroic couplets. एटा heroic couplet होची कि heroic couplet कौन? First line र last word टा rhyme करिबो second line र last word को. एटी होची कि beauty divorced from good sense is worth nothing. Sense nothing संगे rhyme करूची. No, option D is right. The rape of the lock. The rape of the lock to be some syllabus, sabu kete autonomous college tanga syllabus रे अच्छी. Rape of the lock. अच्छा, rape of the lock is one of the funniest and one of the finest, I think. I really love that because initially set up, you know, the real reason. It was actually an incident ହେଇଥିଲା. There was a high society. It's about a high society. Pope was always writing about the high society, aristocratic people. There was a lady called Arabella Farmer. It was spelling I am not very sure. Pile. Agotala Lord Peter. ये दीटा जंक ऑफ लोको लॉर्ड पीटर का फैमिली अरेबेला फार्मर का फैमिली इट वाज अ रियल इंसिडेंट से माने दे आर वेरी गुड फैमिली फ्रेंड्स they were very good family friends for many years and Arabella Farmer was very beautiful and she had lovely locks of hair. So one day gote party रे अच्छन से माने लॉर्ड पीटर कौन कलर गोटे कईची धरिकी गोटे सीजर धरिकी तार टिके लॉक ऑफ हेयर को काटी देला काटिदेला परे it was a storm on a teacup. See patitundo kari kandi देखला hair can easily grow. से काटिक so where is my lock of hair? मोर जो काटिलु कुआड़ गला. से इंसिडेंट दी फैमिली भितर एमिति मारपिट झगड़ा हैला जे एते वर्षर फैमिली फ्रेंडशिप सडनली डिसअपियर्ड. So a friend of Pope, common friend, दीटा फैमिली रो common friend टे Pope को कहला देखो write something कौन गोटे करो so that the animosity, the acrimony between the two families will be reduced and the problem will be sorted out. So Pope कौन कहले ना rape of the lock. Just imagine, lock means lock of hair. ताकू rape use what use करछन्ते rape of the lock करके लिखिले. Canto 1 लिखिले. Then he went on revising. Last रे Canto 5 रे जेतेबेले Pope finally लेखिकरी publish कले Lord Peter मर जायथला. सेतरो Lord Peter मर जायथला. Understood? So say incident inspire करथला rape of the lock. And rape of the lock the exact words होची that let me have a little bit of cup of tea. Say lecture the Pope how vain are all these glories, all our pains, unless good sense preserve what beauty gains. Unless good sense preserve what beauty gains. सेटा होची rape of the lock रो what तारो translation हैला एटा. Good when beauty divorced from good sense is worth nothing. Exactly, Clarissa in Canto 5 of Rape of the Lock, she had says that how vain are all these glories, all our pain. What is mone raksa pile? All these glories PAIN pen unless line style Canto 5 रे Rape of the Lock. Clarissa said this. How vain is your glory, this pain is of no use if beauty, unless good sense preserve what beauty gains. Arabella is so very beautiful. If it doesn't have good sense, it has no meaning. So Pope etaku lekhithile to sort out the family problem dispute. Okay. Now next. So a question taku a background जानला परे lifelong will you ever forget? ए वाला question कोटा आसले because कम constantly भाबिया दरकार जे कोथि कहीं को context रे कोआई छि because एटा exactly से line नहीं because these lines are the heroic couplet Pope लेखंती. So this is not a heroic couplet, exact couplet हला सेटा. How vain are all these glories, all the pain, unless beauty preserve what, so unless good sense preserve what beauty gains. Anyway, Pope's poetry basically lacked in which of the following? A reason, B argument, C characters, D emotion. It is option D emotion. Next. Let's come to Shelley. कारण आम बहुत गुड़े वर्ड्सवर्थ कोलरिज अच्छी. So, पिलामाने देखो before we start Shelley, join our Telegram channel. PDFs are ready, everything is updated there. So you can also know the timing of the classes and all, you can get many information. So kindly please join the Telegram channel. Shelley belonged to A. earlier generation romantic poets, B. later generation romantic poets, C. earlier generation of Victorian poets, D. later generation of Victorian poets. ए क्वेश्चन आंसर लिख। एक क्वेश्चन देखो शैली रो। Uttam Sunna, you are absolutely right. Later generation of romantic poets. You are absolutely right. कारण ए क्वेश्चन टाकू ए पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन टाकू मु देखिची नेट रे से लिखाई अर्लियर जेनेरेशन ऑफ रोमांटिक पोएट्स मु सेटा जानिया चाहूली जे पिला माने तमे जते देखुच अन्य साइट गुडा आंसर गुडा चेक करूच ना नाई सेठी मु देखिची काली रात मु देखिची लिखाई ऑप्शन ए अर्लियर जेनेरेशन ऑफ रोमांटिक पोएट्स व्हिच इज एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग because earlier generation रहिले Wordsworth Coleridge the later romantics को कौन सबले Shelley and Keats so option A लिखाई माने पूरा wrong तमे ताकू घोसी जीवो common sense use करो पढ़िला बेले romanticism पढ़ला बेले Wordsworth Coleridge they were known as the older romantics and they were known as the younger or the later romantics so it is option B is the right answer Shelley belonged to the later generation of romantic poets. Adonis is a pastoral elegy written on the death of which of the following? A. Byron, C. Scott, C. Keats, B. Scott, C. Keats, D. Southey, Robert Southey. Eta dekho. Adonis. Adonis is written by Shelley. It is an elegy. Pastoral elegy normally kaharo death upare lekha jaye mostly. Kaharo death को lekha hitla Shelley wrote this poem. Shelley wrote Adonis on which poet? On the death of which poet? It is Keats. Option C. It is Keats. He wrote because Keats died at the tender age of 25 years some months. He died at a very very tender age. Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. These lines were inscribed upon the tomb of Shelley. From where were these lines borrowed? When Shelley died, Shelley also died young. So, on whose tomb these words were written and these lines were taken from which of the following? A. From Spenser's Astrophel, B. From Gray's Elegy, C. From Milton's Lycidas, D. From Ariel's Song in the Tempest. Shelley was a revolutionary and he was the son-in-law Bhava. William Godwin Mary Wollstonecraft, the first feminist, tankar jwai. Tankar jhiyo thila Mary Shelley. Shelley married Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. Even Shelley wrote lots of letters from Italy. जोटा कि आफ्टर Shelley's death ताको Mary Shelley arranged those letters and published them. This is from say Ariel's Song in the Tempest. Ariel in Shakespeare's last play The Tempest, he writes these lines are taken from Ariel's Tempest. Until death tramples it in two fragments die, from which of Shelley's poems are these lines quoted? A. Hellas, B. Alastor, C. Adonis, D. the Cenci. It is Adonis. Until death tramples to fragments die. He writes about Keats, on Keats' death. Which is Shelley's autobiographical poem? A. Adonis, B. Queen Mab, C. Alastor, D. the Cenci. Uttam Sura, you are absolutely right. It is option C, K.K. Lucky, Parvati Behra. Yes, it is option C, Alistair. From which source did Shelley get the idea of writing the Prometheus Unbound? A. Seneca, B. Euripides, C. Aeschylus, D. Sophocles. Next question, screen ko asiba dekha. From which source did Shelley get the idea of writing the Prometheus Unbound? So, सबु myth भी टिके जाना पड़िबो. Prometheus कौन थिला? Who stole fire for the benefit of mankind. चोरी करे आनथिला fire टाको. And Prometheus was punished by Jupiter, Zeus, by Jupiter. And Shelley कौन लिखचंती? That is Prometheus Bound. And Shelley says, writes in reaction. Shelley writes Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus बहुत भला कामटे करथला. He revolted. He brought fire for mankind. किंतु ताकू सेमाने suppress करथले. So Shelley was inspired by option C, Aeschylus. Prometheus Bound. So Shelley wrote Prometheus Unbound. Referring to Aeneas, Shelley said, I have dipped my pen in consuming fire for his destroyers. Who were these destroyers? A. The editors of both Quarterly Review and Blackwood's Magazine. B. The editors of Quarterly Review. C. The editors of Blackwood's Magazine. D. The editors of the London Magazine. Shelley wrote his these letters. I have dipped. I have dipped my pen in consuming fire for his destroyers. For his destroyers, man, he is huchi, mind you, he is huchi Keats. So देखियो letters from Mary Shelley माने compile करछंती letters of Shelley from Italy. It is he has written these lines. It is option A, the editors of both Quarterly Review and Blackwood's Magazine. अच्छा काहे कि he said this for his destroyers? He is माने के he is हुची, he is here refers to Keats. Keats का destroyer को से कहले because Keats रो Endymion. Shelley was very like he was very friendly with these people. Quarterly Review or Blackwood's Magazine संगर थिला. But Keats का जो Endymion, जो ठीक से truth is beauty, beauty is truth. Sorry, where a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Endymion जो Keats लिखचन थी. Endymion was highly criticized by these the editors of Quarterly Review and Blackwood's Magazine. तो Shelley feel कले जे एमान तक एत्ते क्रिटिसाइज कले जे सो Keats रो डेथ टा जेते बहुत पूर्वुर हे गला. They hastened his death. They expedited his death. सेतिमे से कहला जे I have dipped my pen in consuming fire for his destroyers. Keats रो एमान हेले destroyer. The editors of both Quarterly Review and Blackwood's Magazine. Which of the following works by Robert Browning is considered his masterpiece? A. My Last Duchess. B. Porphyria's Lover. C. The Ring and the Book. D. Fra Lippo Lippi. It is option C. The Ring and the Book is a masterpiece of Robert Browning. Which of the following best describes the writing style of Robert Browning? A. Simple and straightforward. B. Elaborate and ornate. C. Experimental and avant-garde. D. Satirical and humorous. What is the writing style? Best describes the writing style of Robert Browning. Browning is the most important dramatic monologue. The Last Duchess no है. The Ring and the Ring and the Book. It is not the Last Duchess. It is option B, elaborate and ornate, because he was never simple and straightforward, because he dealt with moral issues and psychological realism through his dramatic monologue. So, dramatic monologue psychological things are used karibo, you cannot be simple and straightforward. Satirical no, humorous no, experimental avant-garde no. So, it is elaborate and ornate. Robert Browning was married to which famous poet? A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning, B. Emily Dickinson, C. Christina Rossetti, D. Sylvia Plath. They criticized Keats' Endymion. Uttam, we are saying these magazines criticized to no, they criticized Keats' Endymion को बेसी criticize कले. जोतिपें कि Shelley was very friendly with Keats. So he said the Endymion is a beautiful piece of work. एमन ताको एत्ते खराब criticize कले, so Keats say shock रे मरी गले. He wants to say this. So Robert Browning was married to Elizabeth Barrett Browning, option A. Next, in My Last Duchess, what is the narrator's relationship to the Duchess? A. She is his wife. B. She is his sister. C. She is his mistress. D. She is his daughter. Last Duchess. Next. A question answer. My Last Duchess. It is option A, she is his wife. Which of the following is a recurring theme in Robert Browning's poetry? A. Love and romance. B. Nature and the environment. C. Religion and spirituality. D. Human psychology and morality. So, listen, many materials are there in our app. Please download the app. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe and give your comments on the comment box, so that I may jani paribu where we are going wrong or what you exactly you want. What are your expectations? I mean, that day you told me that madam get some questions on British literature. So we tried to collect some and develop some and give it to you. Sabu jinso gote dina di din re hijibo ni. So comment section ame gude jinso jani paibu. So please subscribe and please give your feedback, your comment, so that we will again work on those areas. And some students are there, I may ODR कहि listen on the English टाको ODR केमती कहबो जहाँ भी तो हेले तो भूल भाल इंग्लिश लिख स्पेलिंग जहाँ भूल लिख इंग्लिश तो ही लिखिबो ना अन्य सब्जेक्ट पॉलिटिकल साइंस हिस्ट्री सोशियोलॉजी जियोग्राफी यू कैन राइट इन ओडिया इवन फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री ओडिया लिख दे परिबो बट इंग्लिश टाको इंग्लिश ही जेमते लिखा पड़िबो हाउ कैन यू राइट इट इन ओडिया सो आई ऑलवेज प्रेफर टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश इंस्टेड ऑफ राइट स्पीकिंग इन ओडिया इन बिटवीन बाइलिंगुअल हेकरी ओडिया टिकेटे कहले इट्स ऑल राइट. Because you are going to be teachers in colleges, if God wishes, and if your hard work really is genuine. It is option D, human psychology and morality. It is human psychology and morality. So now please join our Telegram channel. सेठी तुम पीडीएफ गुड़ाक पाइब बहुत गुड़े जिनस तुम पाइब. सो सबू तुम एंटायर पैकेज इज मेंट फॉर योर बेनिफिट बिकॉज वी ऑल आर वेरी एक्सपीरियंस्ड टीचर्स and most of the teachers who are associated here, they were all professors in Ravenshaw College, in the Ravenshaw University, or in some Ramadevi or in BJP College. So ये समस्त develop करछन्ते गुड़ाक सब. So for your benefit we are trying to deliver. So join us, inspire us, encourage us, download, take. So जदि इच्छा अछि तुमके नियो किंतु मु भाबी सब्सक्राइब करी इफ यू बाय दोज पैकेज it will also help you. Next, which of the following works by Robert Browning is a dramatic monologue? A. The Wasteland. B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. C. Ulysses. D. Porphyria's Lover. शुण आमर बहुत गुड़े जिनस पे देख समस्त तो सबू वर्क गुड़ाक मन रखिपारे तुम्हें प्रोसेस ऑफ एलिमिनेशन भी कर मनकर ये जगह सपोज यू डू नॉट नो वेस्टलैंड यू नो इट्स बाय टी.एस. एलियट वेरी फेमस वर्क ताको भूलियार नहीं. द लव सॉन्ग ऑफ जे. अल्फ्रेड प्रूफोक भी टी.एस. एलियट यूलिसेस टेनिसन कर. सो रहा किए परफेरियस लवर. सो ऑप्शन डी इज द राइट आंसर. दिस इज रिटन बाय रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग. जो जगह टिके डाउट रहिबो से समय जस्ट प्रोसेस ऑफ एलिमिनेशन सेटा को पछरे करिवो जोड़ा आगा आसूची से गुड़ा कर दे पड़ेबो नले टाइम शॉर्ट है जो कर यू विल रन आउट ऑफ टाइम कर परिबनी एगुड़ा को पछरे रखी कि टिके प्रोसेस ऑफ एलिमिनेशन आंसर आस जिवो. नेक्स्ट लेट अस कम टू अल्फ्रेड टेनिसन. व्हाट इज टेनिसन्स मॉड? इट्स अ नैरेटिव पोएम. B. A monodrama. C. A mythological tale. A prose romance. Alfred Tennyson's it is Alfred Lord Tennyson. What is Tennyson's maud? A narrative poem. B. A monodrama. C. A mythological tale. D. A prose romance. এটা কো প্লে শুন দ্যাট ইজ ইট. Ulysses is a novel by James Joyce. যেটা পোয়েট্রি সেকশনে লেখা হচ্ছে মানে তুমি ধরি নেব সেটা পোয়েট্রি. দ্যাট ইজ এ পোয়েম নট এ নভেল. ঠিক কমন সেন্স ইউজ করিব না পিলা. এটা কোন হবে আনসার কো? মড হচ্ছে ইটস আ মোনোড্রামা. Tennyson's maud is a monodrama. Monodrama माने कौन? Mono माने कौन? Single one. Mono माने what? One. Die माने two. So monodrama माने हला any drama जोटी perform हला actor होची गोटे performer हला गोटे से सबू करिवो dialogue कहबो सबू करिवो. So ताको कहंती monodrama. So maud is a monodrama. हमर monodrama किए जमती यार बेकेट कर क्रैप्स लास्ट टेप इट्स अ मोनोड्रामा. हैप्पी डेज मोनोड्रामा. जोटी कि एंटायर स्टेज गोटे गोटे कैरेक्टर गोटे परफॉर्मर थी गोटे कैरेक्टर दैट इज कॉल्ड अ मोनोड्रामा. सो टेनिसन्स मॉड इज अ मोनोड्रामा. नेक्स्ट द कप इज अ ड्रामा रिटन बाय टेनिसन. व्हाट टाइप ऑफ ड्रामा इज इट? ए कॉमेडी. बी अ ट्रेजिकॉमेडी. अ फार्स. सी अ फार्स. डी अ ट्रेजेडी. এটা এনি হিস্ট্রি অফ লিটারেচার বইরে দেখিব স্ট্রেট वे লেখা হইছি द कप कोलन अ ट्रेजेडी. इट इज ऑप्शन डी अ ट्रेजेडी. नेक्स्ट एंड मे देयर बी नो मोर्निंग ऑफ द बार व्हेन आई पुट आउट टू सी. These lines occur in Tennyson's A. Crossing the Bar. B. Break, break, break. C. In Memoriam. D. Ulysses. It is crossing the bar. Bar means the bar, the line between life and death. So when I cross life, when I die and go to the other part of the world, let there be no mourning. कहीं मत कांदनी किछ नहीं. Smilingly bid me goodbye. So it is the poem Crossing the Bar. It's a beautiful poem. बहुत छोटो poem टे Crossing the Bar. Cannons to right of them, cannons to left of them, cannons in front of them. Which poem of Tennyson won him the Chancellor's Medal at Cambridge? A. Charge of the Light Brigade. B. Crossing the Bar. C. Lotus Eaters. D. Timbuktu. I will see this answer. Eta kara. Let me see this answer. I will not say. Pragya Paramita Panda. Option A lecture. Yes. Okay, देखे आंसर मु देखे. Prabhati Behera. Option D. Timbuktu. Okay. So no, lekha pile. Don't feel shy. कि कौन भाविबो फॉरगेट इट भूल हेले हबो ठीक हेले हबो अगेन जो भूल हबो तो अगेन ठीक कर दबो के लकी टिम्बक्टू ए क्वेश्चन आंसर मु जानिया चाहूँ कहीं ना এই क्वेश्चन भी काली मु देखी से सब जो आसूची सब मल्टीपल MCQs मु देखी ए क्वेश्चन आंसर भूल भूल अच्छी से लिखाई टिम्बक्टू से किंतु द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज मुझे कहूँ जिते बड़े जहाँ आंसर देखुच ताकू करेक्शन कर सब डोंट गो बाय व्हाट दे हैव रिटन The correct option is Charge of the Light Brigade. A poem taku khojibo poetry foundation re dekhibo cannons to left them, cannons in front of them, cannons to the right. So cannons in front of them. This is Charge of the Light Brigade. Option A is the right answer, not D. D is the wrong answer. Deichi sethi D is the wrong answer. Eta hochi kan question hochi kono which poem of Tennyson won in the Chancellor's Medal at Cambridge. A poem ko kariba cannons to the right. So from which poem he has won the Chancellor's Medal Award? Because तुम एटा देइछि cannons to right of them, cannons to left. So that is Charge of the Light Brigade. Next, let knowledge grow from more to more, but more of reverence in us dwell. That mind and soul, according well, may make one music as before. These lines are taken from Tennyson's In Memoriam. What do these lines imply? A. Compromise between knowledge and faith. B. Supremacy of faith over knowledge. C. Supremacy of knowledge over faith. D. Supremacy of religion over both knowledge and faith. Cool. This line In Memoriam Tennyson is written. It's a wonderful, wonderful, fantastic poem. Amaro, when we were doing my post graduation in Ravenshaw, it thila amaro syllabus. What does Tennyson mean by it? जोटा कि विक्टोरियन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विक्टोरियन इरा रे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्या भीतर थिला साइंस माड़ी आसुची साइंस इज ऑन द राइज इट इज चैलेंजिंग रिलीजन सो साइंस और रिलीजन जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट which is worked out to the great Victorian compromise between science and religion, because the religious leaders were bound to accept science. Science is not going to stop. So Tennyson Tennyson, Matthew Arnold, Robert Browning. Tennyson made a compromise between knowledge and faith. Faith in Christianity and the knowledge of science. He made a compromise. Arnold could not make a compromise. Arnold went to the ancient period. He went back. Aguku galeni. Tennyson made a compromise. Aguku gale. Matthew Arnold aguku na jaye pachku gale. Robert Browning said in Pippa's song, if God is in heaven, everything is fine in this world. So पूरा छाड़ देले भगवान को ऊपर तो भगवान तो अच्छा सब ठीक ठाक हो That was the attitude of these three great poets of during the Victorian period. The situation सेतबले होतला Tennyson made a compromise. ना we have to compromise and move forward. And Matthew Arnold केबे पारलेनी. He could not make a compromise. He said, "Nah, let me go back to the." So in Scholar Gypsy, he said, "Let me go back. Are industry haba, materialism haba, development will be there. How can you stop all these things?" So it is compromise between knowledge and faith. When Tennyson passed away, a copy of Shakespeare's play was found lying under the cover of his bed. Which was that play? A. The Tempest. B. King Lear. C. Hamlet. D. Cymbeline. जी जितक इंग्लिश लोक शेक्सपियर को किए न पढ़ी सो विच वाज देयर It is option D, Cymbeline. Under his cover, he was having the play Cymbeline. Now, let us come to T.S. Eliot. Our rahila T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats and Auden. Tinta. A. To dash T.S. Eliot dedicate his wasteland. To whom did T.S. Eliot dedicate his wasteland? A. John Ruskin, B. Bernard Shaw, D. Ezra Pound, D. Rudyard Kipling. It is option C, not D, it is C, this is D. Option C, Ezra Pound. He dedicated his wasteland to his friend Ezra Pound. Okay. So, we had some few questions on Yeats. So, jati type he parla. Okay. So, he dedicated this poem Wasteland to Ezra Pound. Agutala, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. He had dedicated that poem to his friend Jean his name is Jean Venedrel. He was a doctor, French doctor. So, taku sare dedicate karthile. He was killed during the First World War, and T.S. Eliot gote Danteଙ୍କର epigraph se epigraph ta Danteଙ୍କଠୁ ଆଣିଛନ୍ତି. So, he wrote it in French, jota English translation hala. How much you should know that it is how it is, just let me see the words. Now can you understand, like now can you understand the measure of love which warms me towards you? That is its English translation. Okay. So, aji etiki questions we could do. Some questions sila Yeats ro. So, my point is, please subscribe, like, share, subscribe and do write your comments. So, now tell me and join our telegram channel. That's all. Now tell me, aji jatiki class questions hame discuss karlu. Were these questions to some degree beneficial to you or not? Tell me. Let me see, yes or no. Was it all right? Was it beneficial? Jadi beneficial, let me before leaving, let me see your thumbs up. Jadi if you are satisfied. I am not forcing anybody, because I am trying to give my 100%. Because already ମୁଁ मोर चाकरी कर सारी रिटायर कर सारी भाई मो पॉइंट है जे तुम मैंने केमती चाकरी पाओ केमती भल कर लाइफ रे प्रॉस्पर कर it will give us that will give immense satisfaction and happiness to a teacher. Let me see, is it all right or should something more to be added? पिले तुम चैट सेक्शन में किसी देखी पारुनी तुम न कहले केमती मु जानी रे पिले पिले करो लेको गिव ए थम्स अप सो दैट मु जानिबे हां आज जहाँ कराला जहाँ पढ़ाला यस इट्स फाइन I was intelligible to you. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you very much.